Do you ever find yourself questioning whether your twin flame runner is truly disconnected, or if beneath their silence, something deep inside them is awakening to the powerful bonds you share? The twin flame journey is an intense, soul-shaking experience, filled with highs that make you feel like you're soaring and lows that leave you grasping for answers. One of the hardest moments is standing in the unknown, wondering if your twin is still running out of fear, or if their soul has started to recognize the truth of your connection. Could their silence be masking an internal transformation, or are they still completely unaware of what is unfolding within them? There comes a point on this journey when the longing no longer feels like a burden but a calling. You begin to sense shifts in energy, signs that something is changing, and yet doubt creeps in. How can you be sure? The journey of the twin flame runner is often misunderstood. Many believe that if the runner is silent, they have moved on. But what if their distance is not a rejection, but a necessary step in their own awakening? What if, in their solitude, they are beginning to unravel the depth of this sacred connection? The twin flame connection is unlike any other. It is not just a love story. It is a divine mission, a spiritual contract that both souls agreed to before they even met in this lifetime. And because of that, it challenges everything you thought you knew about love, about yourself, and about what it truly means to connect on a soul level. The runner's awakening is a slow yet profound process. It does not happen all at once, nor does it always happen in obvious ways. Instead, it creeps in, subtly at first, until it becomes impossible to ignore. In my own twin flame journey, I was the runner. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by the intensity of a connection so deep that it forces you to confront every part of yourself, the good, the bad, and the hidden wounds you thought you had buried long ago. I remember convincing myself that walking away was the right thing to do, that the emotions I felt were irrational, that distancing myself was the only way to regain control. And yet, no matter how far I ran, the connection followed me. It echoed in my thoughts, in my dreams, in the quiet moments when I was alone with nothing but my own truth staring back at me. For months, I tried to rationalize my way out of it. I blamed external factors, the timing, the circumstances, the distractions of everyday life. I told myself that it was just an infatuation, that I was imagining the depth of what I felt. But deep down, I knew the truth. No excuse, no logic, no amount of distractions could sever the bond. It was always there, waiting beneath the surface, calling me back to something greater than myself. Many twin flames go through this same phase, convincing themselves that walking away is the best option. The connection feels too intense, too consuming, too destabilizing. And so, they suppress their feelings, hoping time will erase them. But here's the undeniable truth. This connection does not fade. It does not weaken. It does not dissolve with time. It is an awakening, an unbreakable bond that persists until the runner finally stops, turns around, and faces the very things they feared the most. It is during this phase of the journey that the universe begins to step in, guiding the runner toward their awakening in ways they never expected. Signs begin to appear, subtle at first, but increasingly undeniable. They start noticing synchronicities, seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 444. Songs that remind them of their twin flame seem to play at just the right moment. They hear their twin's name in unexpected places, as if the universe itself is whispering reminders they can no longer ignore. And then come the dreams, vivid, intense, more real than waking life. Dreams where they are with their twin flame, having conversations they never got to have in person. Dreams filled with emotions so raw, so profound, that they wake up feeling as if they were just with them. Even if they try to suppress their emotions during the day, their subconscious mind refuses to let go, replaying the connection night after night. As their awakening deepens, they begin stumbling upon information about twin flames, seemingly by accident, but in truth, guided by divine timing. They come across articles, books, or videos that explain exactly what they are going through. At first, they resist, dismissing it as nonsense. But as they read further, everything starts making sense. The pieces fall into place, and for the first time, they begin to understand why they felt compelled to run in the first place. This newfound awareness is both liberating and terrifying. Suddenly, they are faced with the realization that this connection is not something they can simply walk away from. They start to see how much of their avoidance was rooted in fear, fear of vulnerability, fear of past wounds being reopened, fear of stepping into something greater than themselves. And so, for the first time, they stop running. They begin to do the inner work, to confront the shadows they have long ignored. Healing begins in small but powerful ways. They start journaling, meditating, exploring their emotions instead of suppressing them. They acknowledge their fears rather than running from them. They begin to face the wounds from their past, the childhood traumas, the past heartbreaks, the fears of abandonment that kept them from fully embracing love. The twin flame connection acts as a catalyst for this healing, forcing them to grow in ways they never imagined. But perhaps the most profound shift happens when they experience a deep spiritual awakening. They begin questioning everything. Why they met their twin, why they feel this way, why the universe keeps pulling them back to this connection. They start to recognize that this journey is not just about love, but about transformation. Their connection with their twin flame no longer feels like just an intense romance. It feels like a calling, a divine mission that goes beyond anything their mind can comprehend. And with that realization, the emotions they tried so hard to bury come rushing back. The love, the longing, the regret, the deep knowing that they were never truly separate from their twin. It is in this moment that the walls come down, that the resistance fades, that they finally step onto the path of healing. If you've been on this journey, you know that patience is key. The awakening process does not happen on your timeline. It happens on theirs. And yet, as you witness these shifts, as you begin to recognize the signs, you will understand that every moment of waiting, every second of uncertainty, was leading to something greater. The awakening of a twin flame runner is an intense and life-altering process, one that is often misunderstood. Many believe that runners simply reject their connection out of indifference, but the truth is far deeper. Their instinct to flee is not a reflection of their feelings for their twin, but rather a response to the overwhelming emotions and inner wounds that surface when they come face to face with the mirror of their soul. This journey is not about running from their twin, but about running from themselves, the parts of them that they are not yet ready to heal. However, No matter how far they go or how hard they resist, the universe has a way of guiding them back, stirring their soul awake in ways they never expected. One of the first signs of awakening is an intense emotional release. The runner may suddenly find themselves overwhelmed with emotions they can no longer suppress. For years, they may have been burying their pain, numbing their fears, and avoiding self-reflection. But as their awakening begins, these emotions rise to the surface like a tidal wave, demanding to be acknowledged. Tears come without warning, memories resurface, and a heaviness weighs on their heart that they can no longer ignore. This emotional purge is not just a breakdown, it is a breakthrough. It marks the beginning of their transformation, allowing them to face the truth they once denied. As they move deeper into their awakening, they begin to notice something strange. Their intuition becomes sharper than ever before. Gut feelings they once dismissed suddenly feel undeniable. They experience vivid dreams, signs, and synchronicities that seem far too meaningful to be mere coincidence. Everywhere they go, reminders of their twin flame appear, whether through numbers like 1111, songs that carry hidden messages, or an unshakable feeling that their twin is thinking about them at the exact same moment. Even when they try to brush it off, the universe continues whispering the truth to them. This connection is real, and it is not something they can escape. But even with these signs, the journey is not a straight path to reunion. Awakening is a painful process, one that requires the runner to confront parts of themselves they have spent years avoiding. It is not easy to face their fears, their past wounds, or the deeply ingrained beliefs that have kept them trapped in cycles of self-sabotage. At first, they may resist, clinging to old habits and distractions in an attempt to silence the voice within. But the more they resist, the stronger the pull becomes. The universe continues placing them in situations that force them to heal, whether through unexpected hardships, repeated lessons, or moments of divine intervention that shake them to their core. It is in these moments that the runner begins to shift. The fears that once seemed so overpowering start to lose their grip. The resistance they held onto so tightly begins to soften. Little by little, they start to understand that their pain is not something to run from, but something to move through. And as they do, they come to a powerful realization. Their twin flame journey was never just about their twin. It was about them. It was about becoming whole within themselves, healing the wounds they once ignored, stepping into their highest self, and most importantly, learning to love themselves in a way they never had before. For the chaser, this part of the journey is perhaps the most difficult to witness. They may wonder why their twin continues to resist, why they seem to take 2 steps forward and then 5 steps back. But what they don't always see is that beneath the surface, transformation is happening. The runner is being broken open, forced to rebuild themselves from the inside out. And while it may not happen as quickly as the chaser hopes, it is happening in divine timing. The best thing the chaser can do is trust in this timing and turn inward, focusing on their own healing rather than trying to force their twin's awakening. One of the most powerful truths of the twin flame journey is that as one twin heals, the other does as well. They are energetically connected, always mirroring each other in ways they may not even realize. When the chaser shifts from longing and attachment to self-love and surrender, the runner feels it on a soul level. Without a single word being spoken, their energy shifts. They start to feel an inexplicable pull, an urge to look within, to question, to grow. It is in this silent transformation that true healing begins to unfold. The journey to reunion is not about chasing, it is about embodying love. It is about trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it is meant to, even when it doesn't look that way on the surface. It is about understanding that twin flames are not just two people destined to be together, but two souls destined to awaken each other. And sometimes, that awakening happens in the quiet moments, in the unseen shifts, in the deep soul work that takes place when no one is watching. Take the story of Emma and Liam, for example. Emma spent years trying to make Liam see their connection, believing that if she could just show him how deep their bond was, he would finally awaken. She reached out, tried to explain, held on to every sign that he was coming back. But every time she pushed, he pulled away even further. His fears, his wounds, and his past pain made him resist. Not because he didn't feel the connection, but because he wasn't ready to face the healing it required. Heartbroken and exhausted, Emma finally decided to shift her focus. Instead of waiting for Liam to return, she turned inward. She started meditating, practicing self-love, and healing parts of herself she had long neglected. She let go of the need to control the outcome and trusted that if they were truly meant to be, it would happen in divine timing. And something remarkable happened. Liam started to feel it. Without Emma saying a word, he began experiencing vivid dreams of her. He felt an unexplainable pull toward spirituality. He started seeing repeated numbers and noticing synchronicities that seemed to be guiding him somewhere. Unresolved emotions bubbled to the surface, forcing him to confront his fears for the first time. What Emma didn't realize was that her growth was awakening him. The moment she stopped trying to force the connection and instead focused on becoming her best self, she unknowingly created space for Liam to do the same. Their souls remained connected, and as she evolved, so did he. This is the essence of the twin flame journey. It is not about waiting for the other person to wake up. It is about becoming the person you were always meant to be, trusting that in doing so, everything else will fall into place. If you've been seeing signs, feeling the pull of your twin flame, or noticing shifts within yourself, know that you are not alone. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it is meant to, and every challenge, every separation, and every moment of clarity is leading you somewhere greater. Have you experienced any of these awakening signs? Have you seen recurring numbers, had vivid dreams, or felt emotions resurfacing out of nowhere? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Trust the process. Trust the timing. And most of all, trust that everything is happening for a reason. Keep shining your light and let the journey unfold as it was always meant to.